Hey all, so this tutorial is just going to get you up and running with a quick Streamlit app. So let's get into it. So before I get into the actual code, I just want to actually show you what we're going to be building. So this is a data frame. I got this data set from Kaggle, and this is just a bunch of athletes and information about their age, height, weight, scores that they get in some benchmarking workouts. And all we're really doing in here is we're just kind of displaying all this data. So let's get into the actual code. Alright, so now we have our VS Code open and we're just in a new folder that I created. There's nothing in here, so if we do an ls, yeah, we have nothing there yet. So what I like to do is I like to use a virtual environment called pipenv. So you can download it to your computer just using pip install pipenv, and you can see that I already have that. Great, so we can use that to start installing all of our packages. We can just use pipenv or pipenv, I'm not actually sure how it's called, and just do pipenv install Streamlit. I think I'm going to call it pipenv because that's, I don't know, I guess it rolls off the tongue a little bit easier. Alright, so now that that downloaded, you see we have a pip file and a pip file.lock, and these automatically get created. So what we're going to do now is we can create a main.py file. Oops, py. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to just create a basic Streamlit app. So we'll do import Streamlit as st, and then we'll just we want to create a main function. So we'll say def main. And then all we're going to do here is we're just going to do a simple little hello world. We can just do hello, that's fine. And then, so this is, you often see this in Python files and you don't really get much of an explanation, or at least what I've seen. So when you run Python, a special variable is set. That's this dunder name. And what this does is it gets set to a special string. So when you're calling a script directly, like we will with this variable will get set to the string main, so it'll just run the main function automatically. The reason that we want to do it like this is because if we have this, as a module or something like that, then this special variable is not going to be set to main, so it's not going to automatically be called. This is just kind of a best practice to end up doing. So what we'll do is we want to call our Streamlit function, our Streamlit script that we just wrote. So what we'll do is in pipenv you can actually set up scripts so that they kind of just alias what you want to run. So what we really need to run is Streamlit run main.py, but having this in an alias just helps so that we can just do pipenv run dev instead of having to call this whole thing. What I'm going to do too is, this isn't kind of an optional part, but whenever you have to recall or rerun your script, it just automatically opens up a new browser window. So I don't really want that. I want the ability to just navigate there on my own. So I'm just going to put that in headless mode so that I don't have to. So if we open up this browser window, all we see is just hello printed on the screen, not hello world, because we didn't actually do that. Alright, so now that we've seen it run in the actual browser, what I want to do is I want to keep this open, because I'll just show you, if we do like hellos, just add an S to it. And then bring back the actual browser. You can see here Streamlit detected a change for you. So you'll get this up here. So I usually just click always rerun with that, so that I just automatically see the updates for it. So what we want to do then is I want to open up a new terminal window in that same folder and just do a get init so that we can start version controlling this. I accidentally did this before, which is why it says reinitialize, but you get the idea. Now we have that, and so what we can do is create a get ignore file now that we have get, and I want to put in everything. I'm going to have a temp directory, and so I want everything in that to be ignored by get so that it doesn't get pushed up to my repository. And what we're going to do is let's also create a short readme file here, and I'll just copy and paste this. And basically, so what we're going to do is the CSV, we're just going to have the user download that each time and just give them instructions to put that in the temp directory that we create. That way we're not storing like a huge CSV file on a GitHub repository when it really doesn't need to. So what we'll do is we'll create that temp directory. So I'm going to grab the actual file that I downloaded from Kaggle, and I'm just going to drag that into my temp directory here. Oops. Didn't copy. Okay, there we go. And you see that grays out, and that's because it's recognized by the get ignore file to be ignored and not be version controlled. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to redo this a little bit. So we want to pip env install. We want to get pandas because we're going to use pandas to actually be able to read the file. So what we're going to do here is import pandas as PD. And so what we're going to do is create a helper function to actually load the data. We'll just call this load underscore data. And not really necessary, but I like to do this. I like to do type annotations just to make it a little easier for like other people to read it. And all that we're going to do is return PD. I think it's just read CSV, and this is temp athletes. Whoops, athletes with an S dot CSV. Okay, so that will actually load the data in here. Now, what'll happen is pandas will read that file each time, which isn't exactly necessary because the data is not really going to change. So what Streamlit offers the ability to cache your data so that unless like the definition of the function ends up changing, then it's just going to cache that and store that so that it can return that much more easily. So we've got that. So now in the main function here, we're going to do df equals load data. And then we're just going to use another Streamlit function called Streamlit I think it's st.dataframe. Let me just check my notes. Alright, yeah, so it's st.dataframe. And this is just the data frame that was passed. So one more thing that we can do to just add a little bit of flair is st.setPageConfig, and this just makes it so that we get an actual title on our page, so it just looks a little bit better, I guess. So we'll do page title equals CrossFit data. Yeah, that'll work. And we save that. Let's go back to the first terminal and see if we have any errors or anything. So there you go. Streamlit automatically refreshed because we hit that always rerun before. And so this is our whole data frame, which I showed you in the beginning. Some of this data is actually kind of interesting. But anyway, that is all for this one. So thank you for watching.